This is question 2 of the media evaluation. How does your film present particular groups? In this video commentary, I'm going to be speaking over the title sequence that me and my group have made and analyze the different social groups presented by pausing wherever necessary. So let's get on with it. So at the moment, no characters are visible. The protagonist will stand as watch. Nothing to describe there. But this man right here is social group number 1, the white middle-aged male. He appears as quite intimidating, particularly due to his beard. It makes him look quite menacing and mysterious. Another presentation of this white middle-aged male social group is that he appears as quite authoritative, mainly due to his coat or / blazer that he's wearing, which makes him look as if he's quite a boss figure. Another reason why he appears as quite intimidating is because he's looking directly into the camera, or if we look at it from a contextual point of view, he's looking directly into the eyes of the protagonist, so that he can intimidate him and make him realize that yes, I'm looking at you, and that he's targeting him. The fact that he's squinting also makes it appear as if he doesn't want his eyes to be completely recognizable to the protagonist, because he wants to conceal his identity at the same time. So here we play, and we see the protagonist turn around, look back, and he starts to run. So if I rewind back to the beginning and pause it right here, we can see the young middle-aged man, the white middle-aged man, is hiding behind the structure of the building. This is to make it appear as if he's concealing himself. And as I said before, he's concealing his identity, which then again makes him appear as quite secretive and also intimidating. It also presented him as quite mysterious, the way he's just hiding behind the building. More importantly, the way he's hiding behind the building makes it appear as if he is the bad guy. Like straight on, first 30 seconds of the title sequence, or first 15 seconds even, it just, bam, the audience knows that this guy is shady. This is the guy that we need to look out for when we see the film, when we see the rest of the film, and as we continue to watch the title sequence. That's what the audience are thinking right now. The way he's just hiding, the way he's behind there, acting all suspicious, mysterious, and intimidating. That's what makes him appear how he does. Then he slowly emerges out from his hiding place, little steps. This presents the white middle-aged man as quite cautious. Even though he is the one that is the threat in this situation, he still wants to appear cautious, so that the protagonist doesn't get too suspicious about his presence there. He's making the protagonist think, who is this person? Why is he walking so slowly up to me? The next social group that I'm going to explore is the young Asian male and the young Caucasian male. These social groups also appear as quite suspicious. As I've paused here, you can see from the distance that they're away from the protagonist, that makes them appear as if they're quite cautious as well, because they don't want to be too close, or else they'll draw too much attention to themselves. And they're walking faster than the white middle-aged man. Why is that? Well, the audience knows that they are following the protagonist, so obviously they have to walk a bit faster than the middle-aged man so that they can keep up with their target, and they don't want to lose him. From this, the audience also realizes that yes, these people are also bad. They are the villains in this film. And then when the protagonist looks back and then looks at the young Asian male and the young Caucasian male again, they have sped up. This time they're becoming closer. And as you can see here, the young Asian male is reaching out for his gun. In fact, the gun is actually visible right there. It's not completely visible, but you can tell he's cocking his gun. That makes him appear as quite dangerous. Perhaps even more dangerous than the white middle-aged man because of the weapon that he has in his possession. Also, the way the young Asian male and young Caucasian male are practically touching and are practically next to each other indicates to the audience that these two males are together. They are partners even. They are working together to follow this protagonist. From these two social groups, the danger is quite imminent, and the danger is right there in your face. If you look towards the far left of the screen, you can see the first social age group, the white middle-aged man, with his hands in his pocket, casually strolling towards us, even though he's not quite in the view. This again reinforces the shadiness of this character and of this social group. He is letting the young Asian male and the young Caucasian male do his work for him while he relaxes. Because he's the boss figure, he doesn't have to do the dirty work. Therefore, this means that these two social groups, the young Asian male and the young Caucasian male, are under the influence of the first social group, the white middle-aged male, and that he is controlling them. And that they are doing his will. As we let the title sequence continue here. The protagonist is running right here. This makes him appear as quite scared, that he sees these social groups as a threat, therefore he must run away and get to safety. Back to the second social group, the young Asian male. The young Asian male is presented as quite resilient. He's not stopping. He's going to do whatever it takes to catch the indescribable protagonist up to the building, through the lift. This also presents him as quite dedicated, as that he's dedicated to his job and he has to get it done. As you can see here, he has his gun up, which also makes him appear as quite threatening to the protagonist. This threatening component of this scene is instrumental in making the social group appear as the evil people. Now the protagonist will continue to run, and I'll pause here. This is the next social group, the young white male, who's emerging from the back of the cars, and is shown running towards the protagonist. As we just saw the young Asian male previously running towards the protagonist, and now we have this young white male running towards the protagonist, this indicates that they are working together, and they are both presented as resilient. They're not going to stop. This young black male is also presented as quite resilient, emerging from the back of the cars. And as we see here, the young Asian male, the second young Asian male, also presented as quite resilient. But slightly more forceful, as you can see, because he attempted to drag down the protagonist, unlike the others who are merely just chasing him. This makes this young Asian male presented as quite brave, and emphasizes the willingness of his to take risks, unlike the other young males. Now in this scene, the second young Asian male returns, also looking again as quite brave, the way he has his knife out, attempting to stab the protagonist. However, the young white male protagonist prevents the young Asian male from stabbing him, presenting him as quite skillful, being able to stop such an action. And thus he continues to run away from the scene, as shown previously, as he's still scared for his life, and he has to get away as soon as he can. And then he catches up with the first young Asian male, and disarms his gun, also presenting him as quite skillful yet again. Here he stops the punch, and he gets the upper hand, and then the young Asian male gets the upper hand in the fight again, and then drops him down to the floor. This presents the young Asian male as quite powerless, and presents the protagonist as quite powerful. Then he fly kicks the young white male, which again presents this young white male as quite powerless yet now, because previously he didn't appear as this, but now there's been a shift in power and has gone to the protagonist as he's more skillful than these other young males.